Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the All Natural Experience podcast. And today's episode topic is going to be dating under special circumstances. And today I have two special guests. Introduce yourselves, please.
I'm Artasia.
I'm Letitia.
Okay, so I'm 20, she's 18, and she's 32. So we have a little bit of a different age group going on here. Because a lot of different things that involve special circumstances are different with different age groups. So, Tame, my first question is going to be for you. Are you okay with dating someone with kids?
All honesty, no, not really.
Why?
Because you gotta think about it, like, he can, like, I wouldn't mind to meet them. Nothing's wrong with meeting. It's just that what if the person that he had the kids with, what if they don't feel comfortable? What if they don't want me around the children? What if she probably feel like I'm stepping in, and taking her spot, whatever. It can be not my intention to, because that's not what I would want if I was in that person's situation. So it was like I wouldn't mind meeting, but I was like I'll also keep my distance at the same time.
Okay, so Tish, you're 30, and you have a kid. So what are your thoughts on dating someone with kids?
I don't mind as long as, like, him and the baby's mother have a good relationship.
Right.
Because I don't want to get into the situation where, to be honest, I have to whoop somebody at
Right.
straight up. Because, and they would also have to treat my son like they would treat their kids. Like, I feel like it goes both ways. We have to have respect for each other's kids. And when it comes into play with that, like, I have to watch myself because, like, they could be doing something behind my back. I have trust issues when it comes to my child. So
my perspective on that, I'm 20. I really don't see myself dating someone with kids because first, I feel like I'm too young to date someone with kids because I don't want that responsibility right now. And a lot of people tend to, once you get into a relationship, because this is not all the time, but once you get into a relationship with kids, with people with kids, they tend to throw all the responsibility on you. So I feel like I'm too young and I have too much going for myself right now to be tied down to someone and their kids. And also, I feel like I don't do baby mama drama. And these days, baby mamas don't have any boundaries when it comes to people to the baby daddies in their relationships that don't involve the baby mama. So that's my point of view on that. So the next question is going to be, and either one of y'all can answer however y'all want to do it. The next question is going to be, how do y'all feel about dating people who still live with their parents and that aren't like trying to move out anytime soon?
It's a no for me. Simply because if you don't have no ambition about yourself to get up and go to somebody's job or try to start a business for yourself or even just helping your parents out around the house or your mom out around the house, then you don't need to look at me because automatically my responsibilities is to take care of my house and my child. And they come first. So if you can't do that at your mama house, what makes you think you're gonna come do it at mine?
Okay.
From my experience on that one, with me currently having a significant other, he does still stay with his mom, but it's only because he's helping for the moment. Now, I'm not about to say, he plans to stay there until he's like grown. I'm not about to say that. He does want to move. He does want to get his own house. He does work. He wants to do all this different stuff for himself, but it's like in the meantime, he just wants to stay with his mom. just to get the thought of it. And my person is 20 years old.
Mhm.
He's only staying because with his mom and his dad mainly, he has illness. So when his mom is not there, he takes care.
Mhm.
So whatever he needs or whatever his mom needs, he's there immediately. Not saying that all his siblings, not saying all his siblings don't do it, but when it's him, it's immediately.
Mhm.
Now, will I prefer to stay with him if he continues to want to live in his house with his parents? Honestly, I don't know. Because at some point, you have to realize your parents are always going to be there for you no matter what. They're always going to be there, always going to put you first.
Mhm.
But you gotta realize if you're going to start slacking to where you don't feel like you don't want to help them anymore, or I'm just gonna need my parents' house rent free.
Or like you don't have any responsibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to focus on yourself. If this is what you're gonna do, if you know what you're gonna do, plan for it so you can move out.
Right.
So yeah.
So my thoughts on that is I don't really feel comfortable dating people who still live with their parents. Like in her instance, like if you're doing something for yourself, like if you're working, if you're trying to like get your own spot, if you're trying to do better for yourself, then yeah, that's okay.
Mhm.
But if you're just out here bumming, not doing absolutely nothing, you in the streets 24/7, then no, that's not okay with me, right? Because how are you gonna take care of? How are you gonna be in a relationship? And I'm not saying take care of me, but how are you gonna do things for me in a relationship if you can't even do things for yourself
Mhm.
when you're by yourself? So the next question is, how do y'all feel about long distance relationships?
Oof, that's a hard one. You
It's another experience. I have dealt with it. The question is, did I like it? No. And I'll say no because I won't say I've never met the person before, because I have. But when I was at least like 12 or 13, my mom always had me moving. So my mom would have me down here and it was good. I could go to school and I could meet my person and stuff like that. But once she felt like she wasn't wanted down here, my mom's initial step was to just leave. I was like, so it was hard for me and that person I was dating at the time. It was hard. It was to the point where there's like, you gotta realize, what if my mom wants to stay down here like forever? What if there's like no going back? So at some point, I had to break it off. I did. Was that person happy with it? No, because he felt like it could have worked. You gotta realize, I won't be able to see you anymore. So just calling and texting, that's not enough. It's not enough for me, at least anyway. I have to see you. We have to be close. And with that, I just couldn't do it. I was like, I had to break it off. It's no.
In my experience, and it was someone from Africa of all places. But I mean, not saying like all people are like them, but I liked it because it was somebody new and not from my area.
Mhm.
But in the same sentence, I didn't like it because one minute you want to be bothered with me, then the next minute you don't, and that just don't fly with me. And the trust issues, and then all the other things that comes into play with it, it's just no. I have a lot of trust issues, so when it comes to long distance, no, I can't do it. I mean, I talk to someone as long as I can meet them, but as far as having a relationship with them, no, I would not do that again.
So for me, I wouldn't really say I've been in relationships because I haven't really been in a relationship technically. So I have talked to people who've been like out of state, long distance. But my thing is, yeah, that's cool and all, but I'm a clingy person, so I like to be around my person, not 24/7, but you know, most of the time I like to be around my person. So if we can never be around each other, then that's not gonna fly with me, because that goes hand in hand with, like, if you're talking to someone on a dating website or anything like that, which we'll discuss that in another topic. But like, I used to be on dating sites, and I would be talking to different people from, like, different states, and I was like, I don't have time for this, because I know that I'm not the only person that you're talking to, so on a daily basis. So with that being said, I just feel like if we don't have established trust, then it's not gonna work. Because if I can't trust you and you can't trust me, then what's the point of being in a relationship if we can't trust each other?
Right.
You're halfway across the United States, I'm halfway across the United States. What's the point? So that's my point of view on that. And I honestly, would I do a long distance relationship? If there was a way, like, we could, I fly to you, you fly to me, you know,
that type of thing.
I drive to you, you drive to me, whatever the case may be, or we meet halfway, then yeah. But other than that, I'm not okay with long distance relationships, because I like to have you in my presence. I like to see you face to face, like, talk in person and not just over the phone, because you never know what you're getting when you're talking over the phone with someone. They could be saying this and saying that, and then doing the complete opposite. So that's my point of view on that. My next question is, are you okay with dating someone who doesn't have a job? Like, who's not?
No. Especially not if you're not even trying. Like, if you're not even trying to get about that bed, or even at the house, that room. Sorry, sir, you ain't the one for me. I'm sorry. No. No.
It's a no for me either. Exactly reason she just said. Like, if you don't have no ambition about yourself, and you won't even do nothing around your mama house, no.
Right. And see, for me, it's like, if you don't have no money, like, how we gonna go on dates? How we gonna do this, do that? You know, I'm not gonna always be the one
to pay for everything.
Fitting the bill for everything.
Right.
And I feel like it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't always be the one fitting the bill for everything. It should be like a both, y'all both doing it. Like, yeah, that 100, that's a whole different topic for a different time. So I'm not gonna get too deep into that. But I do feel like in certain situations, 100 is necessary. But I also feel like it is okay to treat your partners.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to treat them out on a date, that's okay. And I feel like, how you gonna do that if you ain't got no job? So the next question is going to be, and this is going to be the last question, how do y'all feel about people wanting sex first without, like, trying to get to know you? Like, is that a deal breaker for you, or, like, are you cool with that? Like,
it's a deal breaker for me. It's a no. I can't get with that, because I have to get comfortable with you first. And if you don't, I feel like you don't come correct at me when you automatically go for the jugular, which is sex. No, it's a no for me, because I feel like if I do give in, like, that's disrespecting myself. Mm-hmm. Not only that, like, who taught me, like, my parents. So yeah, that's a no.
Yeah, that's also a no for me too. With my young self especially, it's just a no. And I've been told, like, when things happen to us, like, at a very young age, like sexual abuse or whatever, I've been told that you would have a habit to like sex, and there's a way for you not to like sex. I don't even like sex. I don't even know the terminology about sex, because I don't even want to be there. When they be and I hear people, and I see in the movies too, they be like, I want to save until marriage. I don't want to save until nothing, because it's never gonna happen. Never. I want to know someone and be comfortable with them. Not them giving, F-boy vibes. Oh, what you trying to do? No, I'm not trying to do nothing. I don't like that. And I respect my body, myself wholeheartedly, like 100%. And they'll be like, oh, well, we could do this. Like I just told you, we can't do nothing.
Because and this is a big thing I find in today's society. This is a huge thing because a lot of women lead with their body instead of with their mind. And I feel like I recently asked a question. This was about a month ago. I asked this question on one of my social media platforms, and I was like, so why do men feel like it's like they should just lead with sex first instead of like being like, okay, let's go on a date. Let's get to know each other. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like, let's get to know each other first, and then we'll talk about sex later. And I had a guy on my social media, and he was like, because that's what women lead. That's the women started that. Women lead with sex first. They lead with their body instead of leading with their minds. And my thing is, I feel like we have to, the people who lead with their mind and not their body, we suffer for that. Because that's what a lot of men are thinking. Okay, she's gonna be an easy target. She's gonna, it's gonna fall through, and she's just gonna go for it. And a lot of women are not like that. But again, we have to suffer for the consequences of the women who just lead with their body instead of their mind. So that's it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for next week's episode. And we will see you guys next time.